Alright, so first video like this. I don't know. This is how it's just gonna start, I guess. So this video is gonna be becoming an explorer. The reason why I decided to make this type of video is because tonight I'm having my first meeting with a new department. I'm ready for it. I like it. You know, I like all that. I'll explain it all later. But yeah, I guess we'll get into it. Alright, so first I'm gonna go to you're gonna want to scout out an agency. So first you'll go like local, municipal, then you'll step it up to county, and then state. Not a lot of state agencies have explore programs, but I know like Delaware has one because I almost joined theirs. On top of those posts, you should be looking into your school's police department if they have a separate police department, because I know here in Gwinnett County, Gwinnett County Schools has their own police department. Gwinnett County Police Department is a different department, and both of them have their own separate explore program. So does the sheriff's office. So yeah, there's that. Other alternative agencies around you, I have no idea. I know Tequila has a marshal service, which is the city that I go to school in. I'm pretty sure they don't have nothing like an explore program, but agencies like that, check them. And also check for agencies that are near you but may not be on your radar. So right now I'm in Auburn, Georgia. Auburn, Georgia is cut in, I'm gonna say in half, from Barrow County and Gwinnett County. Gwinnett County, that's the department I was with, the Gwinnett County Police Department, and now I'm making the transfer to the Auburn Police Department. The Auburn Police Department is only on the Barrow County side of Auburn. So check things like that, especially if you live closer to city borders, town borders, county borders. Check across that border and just check around, because this department is 3 minutes from me, while the training center for the county, where we did all of our trainings, is a solid 15, it's a bit of a ride, and then you gotta cross a big highway. On top of that, you wanna do your research, so find your department, make sure they have an explore program or a cadet program, because some of them use the public safety cadets, which is a competitor of the explore program, which is BSA, Boy Scouts of America. So yeah, check if they have the explore program. Check the website. A lot of them have websites for their explore program. I'll put up pictures now if I can find some of both, like my agencies locally and then some other places, just in case there's something different. Step 2, you're going to want to contact the senior advisor, or the advisor. That's the only one that you're pretty much going to see on the website. So once you decide, gain contact information, so email, phone number, all that jazz. Compile all your questions and concerns first before you contact them at all. That's mainly because I can't email for my life, and one thing that I do constantly is I'll email and then I'll send like 3 extra emails of other things I should have put in the first one, but I can't email. That's why at Gwinnett County, I was happy that I had officers' phone numbers, so texting an officer is a little bit easier than emailing, or at least for me personally. I can write good emails, work-wise, but with them on a more personal level in a bit, I can't write emails for the life of me. Another thing that you should figure out is you'll do this usually in your email process, or you can actually see it over a video. So I can just by looking at explore images, like right now I'll show a picture of a providing agency. You can tell that they're providing by uniform. You can tell they're providing agency by the uniformity of their gear. So when I say providing agency, I mean an agency that's going to give you all of your equipment, instead of an agency that makes you go get all of your own equipment, which there are pros and cons to both. With the receiving equipment, sometimes you pay for your equipment, sometimes not. But also with receiving equipment, like that's you know for a solid that you will have the equipment that you need, you know, all things like that. And then now I'll show you a picture of a provide your own department, which is an agency where, like I said, you'll get everything you want. You can, sometimes you can tell, sometimes not. Sometimes they will choose to look uniform because they have to have things in a certain area. But if you look closely, there will be things that, you know, different brands or just different look on certain things. That's how you usually know when they're provide your own, because there isn't much. There could be some uniformity, but it's not going to be, you know, the most uniform thing in the world. Sometimes it could though. You know, that's just how that works. Step number 3 is going to be acquiring equipment. So this is for a providing post. So if you're with a providing post, there's really not much you really need to get. This is kind of just certain things you could get. Latex gloves, your own flashlight, handcuffs, notepads, pens and pencils, normal, and maybe a multi-toolers of some sort. At Gwinnett County, they are providing post, but we weren't allowed to change anything on the belt, but if we wanted to add something, we could. So that's like, if you want your own set of handcuffs, which makes sense, then we get our own. If you want, they don't give us a flashlight. So if you want a flashlight, get your own flashlight, things like that. One of the explorers there, he's now a sheriff's deputy. He's my friend Brian. He, me and him were kind of on the same. We already had equipment just by having equipment, you know, police kids. And, yeah, so we really didn't struggle on that side. We just brought in our own equipment for certain things. With that, especially with being on a providing department, ask your advisors, what are you allowed? What is expected of you to bring? Because sometimes you get to providing department, but they're like, okay, well, we don't have this many handcuffs or this many red guns, something like that, so bring in your own. And then what is off limits? So my friend Zachary, he is with a providing department, I guess you could say, but they're also allowed to provide your own. Something to do with his department is you may want to bring, you know, your own pair of handcuffs, your own red gun, just so you don't have to share in case, you know, numbers are too high. Zachary is with the Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. They're just a little bit different, but they're there. But yeah, you just need to figure out what you need to figure out what you can put on that belt, what you can't put on that belt, things like that. For number 4, it's going to be acquiring equipment, but this is for everybody with a provide your own post. So now that I'm with Auburn PD, we are a provide your own post. I don't know what's off limits. I'll figure all that out tonight, but I've seen everything that I want to have, everything that I have, I've seen on other explorers with their posts. So I know everything that I want, none of it is off limits, so I don't have to worry about it. But first, you know, ask what you aren't allowed to have. If you have any questions on an item, if you want to get it, ask. So like for me, I wanted a blue gun taser. I then saw on their promotional video that one of the explorers had a taser holder. So it didn't have a taser in it, but I had a taser holster, so I knew I could carry that. So for the minimum setup, I would say a duty belt, either a base or equipped. So this would be an example of a base. It's nothing, it's just the base of the belt. And then this is an example of an equipped belt. Basically the base is just the belt piece, and then the equipped part is, you know, having some pouches on it or whatever. I need to update my belt. I would get an equipped part, but a lot of the parts that come with the equipped, I already have other items that would replace that, so I don't want to get an equipped belt. So yeah, you need a duty belt, get a gun holder, So you need a duty belt, a sidearm holster. I'd say get a universal or a Glock 17 build, because those are that's your safest bet. Department issue, Glock 17 or Glock something. And then a universal, you know, just might help out. And then a handcuff case. That's the minimums, you know, so you look a little bit sloppy when you hold handcuffs in your pockets. Some departments, especially provide your own departments, when explorers don't get their stuff, you'll see them put their gun into their, you know, under their actual belt or in their pocket, which obviously looks sloppy and horrible, and that's that's something. So that's minimums, and then there's the good set. So for me, a good set would be a duty belt, sidearm holster, handcuff case, radio pouch, key holder that could be put in your pocket or something, or a lanyard, a glove pouch, and then maybe a magazine pouch. That's pretty much the base of what you'd have with any department. Handcuff, well, that's all the stuff in the minimums. But things like a radio pouch, some departments provide radios. Sometimes you bring in your own radio. Never mind. Sometimes they'll provide you radios or not. I don't know, you'd have to ask. I've never been with a department where I had to provide my own and then, set that up or whatever. For a key holder, you really don't need one. It's mainly for handcuff keys if you have extra keys, depending on what your agency, post, department does. If y'all are actually out there doing volunteer work in uniform, if you're not really doing much of that just all depends. Glove pouch, I'd say it's a safe bet to have one, and have latex gloves or whatever in there. That's a pretty safe bet. And then for a magazine pouches are one of the more unused holsters or holders on explorers belts. Now that I try to think about it, I don't think I've seen many explorers with them on their belts unless they're from a providing department, mainly because there's nothing to put in them. Some posts, they'll go practicing out on the range, they'll use blanks, so they'll use their magazine pouch. Some posts, maybe they don't do that all at their post at state competitions or at big competitions or whatever. They do things with firearms or mocks or airsoft, so that's why they have those, which makes sense. I have a magazine pouch on my belt. Even though I'm going to have a blue gun, I'm going to put magazines from an airsoft pistol in there, mainly for weight, uniformity, muscle memory, things like that. I'm very big when we get into scenario role play it like it's real. I count my bullets, things like that. I know, things like that. Next on is the full set for gear. So that would be, that's everything that I explained in the good set, but then also, maybe a baton holder, a taser holster, a tourniquet, medical gear. That's pretty much what I'm aiming for, is a full set belt, which would have everything in my mind on it. And then obviously, then there's the gear side of things. One thing when it comes to preparing for joining an agency is prep clothing. Because I know for our department, it was, or for GCPD, it was bring all of your own things until, after you break this period. Because explorers, we had a probationary period basically of 12, I can't remember if it was 6, 9, or 12 meetings where you were probationary, where you wore a t-shirt that just had the seal on the front and Explorer written on the back, and then you already got fitted for a belt or whatever, because that's not something they're too worried about. You can, if you get kicked out or you leave or something, it's not that bad. You just give your belt to someone else, or put it back on hold or whatever. But yeah, so we had to provide our own cargos, pants or whatever. So that's how that works. When I say prep, I mean, look, you don't want to show up in jeans, you don't want to show up in t-shirts or whatever. That's not me saying that from any advisor standpoint, because I don't know how advisors think. They're probably like, oh, I'd expect them to come in casual clothing because it's their first time or whatever. But from an explorer standpoint, even though it is your first night, look a little bit ready. Think of what police cadets show up to, when they're heading to academy or whatever, their first day there. They're not looking sloppy, they're not in regular casual street clothes, but there's something close to it, but also something close to the professional side. What I would say is a white or black t-shirt, that you can't really go wrong with a white or black t-shirt, and then khaki, black, gray, or navy cargo pants. That is a decision you'd have to make on your own by looking at the posts, pictures of their uniforms or whatever. Also, this is a step that you do not have to do. It's just me saying, if you would like to, this is what I would do. this is the example of an agency I would wear khakis to. This is an example of an agency I would wear black to, gray, and that one's navy. So, and I say cargos because, I mean, cargos are pretty much the go-to. Like, that's, you know, that's your telltale police officer's pants. And then for number 5 is really like calm yourself. Like, you don't have to be nervous. You can stay calm. I'm a senior explorer, at least with the GCPD. I don't know how APD is gonna transfer me over, if I'll be probationary again, or, you know, back where I was, because have been an explorer for 3 years. So, you know, I don't know how that transfer is gonna work out. You can bring a friend just to tag along for that first night. They're not gonna, you know, beat you up about it. You know, someone for support. Or if you have, you know, someone who might be also interested in the program, go together. It can help. My first night with GCPD, I had one of my friends, she came with me. Her dad is a police officer. He was actually a watch commander with the department. Not our department, but another local. So, it was me, her, my parents, and I was there. I didn't really care. I was more anxious and happy, ready to be there, than scared, because I had wanted to be an explorer since I was 12, and you can join when you turn 14. And I had been moving so many different places, seeing so many different posts, and I was just happy to get there. So as soon as I turned 14, it's June 20th right now. Tomorrow's my birthday, June 21st. And then for GCPD, they have recruitment nights. So recruitment nights were in like August and February, you know, one night in August, one night in February, whatever. So as soon as I turned 14, I waited for that recruitment night, and I went to my first nighter, and I was just ready to jump in. And, you know, I'm happy to be here now. But yeah, you know, calm yourself. It really shouldn't be that intimidating. Maybe the advisors might be intimidating people, maybe not. Same thing to go with when it comes to your other explorers around. You know, you get a feel for it. That's the whole point of going there for the first time, getting a view on it. That's pretty much what I'm doing tonight, is getting a view on everything, seeing, okay, is this really where I want to be? You know, how's the advisors, how's the police officers of the department, how's the explorers, how's their command staff, does their command staff make sense, or is it kind of all over the place? Not only with how they do ranks and all that, if they do ranks, but also, you know, the people. But yeah, you don't really have to be nervous much. To move on, I will do a review of my duty belt for the night. Tonight, I don't have my full duty belt. A lot of the stuff that's on the belt is getting replaced by next week's meeting. But I'll just show it for people who want to see. And then also, I know a lot of people that have been subscribed to me for a while have been wanting to see my duty belt for years, but I haven't really done a duty belt review. So this one will be the last time y'all will see this belt, and then next week I'll show you guys everything. So duty belt, you know, everything like that. So I'll see you guys on the flip flop. All right, here's the belt. Left side to knife on it. I don't really want a knife, but it's trauma shears on the left side, with a mic, latex gloves in here. I have a glove pouch coming, but this is what I have for now. This one is a holster built for the Glock 1722 and something else, light bearing. As you can see, that is not a Glock. This is an Airsoft Walther PPQ. Not much to say. I just have it because my blue gun is not here until hopefully tomorrow. The blue gun is a Glock 17 Gen 5 with a TLR1, and that will, change out for this. This department, because it is provide your own, they do actually allow us to wear airsoft guns, but before every scenario, they have to do a gun check. Right here is a magazine pouch. This thing right here is, that button just does a little light thing for you. This one, I'm only gonna do it for a second. I mainly have it there because every year I do a presentation with the ROTC program of my school, and sometimes I am at the school in full uniform with the belt and everything. Obviously not with this. My freshman year I did have the red gun and I was able to go with the red gun. But it's mainly that because I'm usually not going to all my classes. I'm usually in the ROTC room, lunchroom, and that's about it. But this is there because last time it just so happened that one of my friends had a medical emergency, and nobody else noticed it besides me. And when I caught up to him in the hallway, it got very extreme, and it was like, it was really bad, but it just so happened that there was nobody around us. And this is basically there in case, radio doesn't work or something. This is, it'll get people's attention. Maybe not for, always for a school setting, but even on my first day of comms training, my radio just did not work, and the officers, they were like, okay, figure out what to do, because that could happen in real life. So now what do you do? And so with that, now fear, I carry this. This is the magazine holder, also to be replaced. A lot of this stuff is being replaced. This is a magazine for this gun. Obviously they're empty. This one is a magazine for a different one, but again, there for muscle memory and weight. When I get the blue gun, I'm going to put both these magazines in here, and maybe someday along the road I'll get weighted prop magazines or just regular magazines and empty, but who knows. And then belt clip. So that's pretty much all the gear for today. I do keep this in my pocket: latex gloves, non-stick pads, some alcohol prep and things like that, band-aids. That goes on my right cargo. My left cargo usually has my notepads and things like that. The med gear all comes out of here, which I got off of Amazon like 2 years ago. Swiss safe. Has some equipment in there, but I'm not gonna carry it today. So, I just have like this stuff in my pocket. I'm pretty big on med. Training to be an EMT actually. Let's see, these are my notepads. This is my primary one. This one's kind of for support. But yeah, that's really it. And I guess I'll see you guys next week when we do a full debug video. So peace, and for all of you guys out there looking to join, good luck.